Televidente, bom-bini. Welcome to Caribbean Update. Durante the Caribbean Update, nós sunabo diferente notícia den esse man, pero me sa tem diferente coisas não que estava sucedendo, que estava dando, mas requerir de seu tempo para nós por estúdio. Essa aqui também é de Dianthe Pabo. Precisa bastante tempo. Bom, não há bo pida Caribbean Update, pero awet é dia que nós treze essa aqui Pabo e nós começa a mesora com update for the Haiti, for the Haiti. Semana largo protesta na isla, mio bisa lunas, tem certo forma for the ano passado nos bisa, for pero que ela cue rumbo mais sanguíneo lá nos bisa, tá for de fevereiro, que não começa a vir mais candente riba a isla. Malversão de fundo para reconstruir a isla depois de diferentes desastres natural. O número de Petrocaribe está seguindo cai, preço de combustível a subir drasticamente e está pedindo para o presidente atual Jovenel Moïse barra como tal. Um rapport com o Senado de Haiti Asaka está mostrando bom claro que o fundo de Petrocaribe awardo, for lack of a better word, horta, malusa, na gewoon disparse voor die caja de gobierno. Então, for lack of a better word, it was just embezzled. $2 billion plus. Embezzlement. E maneira não se reportar luna passada, sinta mais, que o presidente atual também recebeu parte de fundo aqui. Ora, essa aqui a na clá na comissa pedi para barra como tal, pero nos tem o seguinte reportagem de Vice. Essa aqui é o reportagem que está for de fevereiro, pero a situação não cambia até o dia de hoje. Vamos aqui, aqui.
Students in Haiti's capital marched today to mourn a classmate allegedly shot dead by police this month. Their anger is symptomatic of wider fury with authorities in a country where jobs are scarce, inflation is high, and successive governments have been accused of skimming money from the people. Protests against President Jovenel Moïse started last year after a Senate report accused officials and private companies of embezzling nearly $2 billion from the sale of oil. The oil came from Venezuela's Petrocaribe scheme, which sells to Caribbean countries at a low cost up front and gives them decades to pay the rest. After the 2010 quake, the loan became a critical way to fund urgent and essential reconstruction projects. You are responsible for tackling corruption in Haiti.
Yes, they have some projects in the cities and they don't have the project. Companies receive the money, but they don't have the project. I discovered in the report that all the government spend badly all the money.
Yuri Latortu chairs the Senate committee that produced the report. It covered 2008 to 2016, when President Moïse's two predecessors were in office. The $2 billion in funds were meant to be spent on projects including housing and government ministries. But it also said Moïse, himself the owner of two firms, received Petrocaribe funds for the reconstruction of a road that never materialized. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars. Where is it?
In individual pockets, in the firms, in some administrators, some accounting.
President Moïse himself.
President Moïse, because he was not in the state, but he had a firm.
All officials involved have rejected the accusations in the local press. This bridge to nowhere has become the most glaring symbol of the scandal.
So that's the bridge? Yes, that's the bridge.
The sort of bridge?
Sort of, yeah, big H. It's literally telling us they don't care about the people. They literally don't care. You had these socio-economical projects. You had the Petrocaribe funds to better our conditions, and it's right in our face.
Bisa televidente, nothing has changed, nada no cambia. Presidente Moïse no está papiando con yung gente, manda diferente, tu rende menos eta manda pa por papia ku prensa e também prensa internacional. Cosi ku ela manda bisa po enota vai baha pa ilaga país den mang di mafioso nang i kriminal nang kuta anda den negócio di droga. Pero nos tem mais notícia para o Caribbean Update. Awe, mais ou menos 12 mang foi de promédio outubro tem protesta também na Quito, Equador, negociação a para passou governo no que papia com protesters nang enang kuta base to protestar huelga den kaya nang di capital de Equador, Quito, passou eta uno bastante violento e não bisa kun no que papia kun yung gente si no para e violência den e capital de Equador está Quito. Lang nos bang pa e seguinte reportaje.
The mood was defiant as thousands of indigenous protesters, angry over increased fuel prices, filled this cultural center in Ecuador's capital. After another night of anti-government protests directed at President Lenin Moreno, leaders said the strike would continue.
It's up to the president to repeal the decree to lift the strike. If he doesn't, the strike continues.
We want to make clear that we have never made any agreement with the national government.
The demonstrators detained at least 8 uniformed police officers who they forced on stage before the crowd.
The stance of the indigenous movement has toughened even further after clashes on Wednesday night left more casualties. Here in this theatre, indigenous leaders say there will be no negotiation with the government, and some are even calling for Lenin Moreno, the president of Ecuador, to step down.
It has been the worst unrest Ecuador has seen in a decade, which began when the government lifted fuel subsidies, causing prices to spike overnight. Ecuador's government wants dialogue, but will not negotiate under the threat of violence and vandalism, according to Foreign Minister José Valencia.
Todo esto nos configura realmente una
This is an extremely critical situation, which is not a decision of the indigenous leaders. We trust in their word. We believe, and we have evidence, that this is a result of calls by opposition leaders to use violence, to take control of public institutions and roads, and to attack the forces of order with violence.
He told CGTN foreigners, including Venezuelans, had been arrested, adding the cost from lost oil revenue and other damages could run into the tens of millions of dollars. The government says more than 700 people have been detained and some 80 police officers injured as a result of the clashes.
The police had followed strict protocols of action, which have been in place for years and were drawn up under international norms.
He said the United Nations and the Catholic Church was backing peaceful dialogue with some indigenous and trade union groups. Meanwhile, Peru and Chile are standing by President Moreno as he faces the worst crisis since he took office in 2017.
Ja, esse também atrobe petroli e mais petroli. Aqui tem subsídio for de seng ku ene nan tabatahaya e presidente abisa ku tende vos nan Mr. Stop di assim cos flow como pueblo bang para nos potraha para nos po mejorar e llega no mio Equador para itur. Somente interessante, não se sabe quanto dia mais é aqui, também sigue, para sua maneira avisa que tanto tem influência de oposição, o presidente avisa que tem violência, você também por mira de caia de Equador Quito, e no seu governo não vai sentar papia com nenhum gente. Pero de outra banda, até quanto mais a economia de Equador por sofrer, passou a opção está perdendo para o que trata e a huelga e protesta na área de caia na capital. Nós temos mais pabo, mas com 5 semanas, mais ou menos, a passar com Dorian, Orcan Dorian, a destruir Bahamas, a situação tem sua complexidade televidente, com agora que diferente aspecto de essa aqui, the complexity of their situation, agora que não está saliendo na clara, e parte di reconstrucción de isla atoll of islands ahora que nanta saliendo está sumamente difícil, pero de banda científico também tem su diferente costa que está saliendo e nanta bisando que Bahamas mestre então advertência também para gente é assunto aqui de global warming e também la man que está subindo. Lá nos é reportagem aqui de PBS.
Scientists say the long game for the Bahamas as a whole is also very uncertain, as the certainty grows, linking climate change and a greater frequency of strong hurricanes. Carrie Emanuel is a professor of atmospheric science at MIT.
What we're already seeing is a greater incidence of the really strong hurricanes, just more strong storms, and more rain, more flooding from tropical cyclones, both fresh water, because there's more rain, and the salt water from the storm surge because of two things. The storms are stronger and the sea levels are coming up.
The Bahamas archipelago, about 700 islands and 2,400 keys stretching 760 miles from Florida to Cuba, sits low in the water, mostly just a few feet above sea level.
You raise sea level by half a foot, it's a big deal. You're going to get a lot more flooding for the same storm than if the sea level were back where it was 100 years ago.
Are we at a point where we have to think about whether the Bahamas is an unsustainable place to continue living in?
Unfortunately, and that's actually happening in the Western Pacific.
These islands are cannon fodder in the relentless invasion spurred by climate change, the first casualties in a war they did not start.
When one storm can obliterate an island state or a number of states in one hurricane season, how will we survive?
Bahamas Prime Minister Hubert Minnis clearly had this on his mind when he addressed the United Nations General Assembly on September 27th.
I add my urgent plea to the cries and voices of many other leaders, urging the nations of the world here assembled to treat the global climate emergency as the greatest challenge facing humanity.
Mr. Minnis and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres toured the largest shelter for Dorian evacuees in a Nassau gymnasium 2 weeks earlier. Many of the 700 or so people here are undocumented immigrants from Haiti, squatters living on Abaco Island in what was a slum called the Mud, now a flattened field of debris. Nevertheless, Shella Monastim is among those longing to return to Marsh Harbor.
Because that's where you used to live, so automatically you won't go back. Home is home. Home is home. But to me, I really don't want to be in it. Yeah. With this, my young baby, I really don't want to be in it. But I ain't got no choice to be in here. Because nowhere else to go.
Without deeds or papers, for them, the path back to Abaco is littered with obstacles. Indeed, the government is threatening deportation. They are refugees, first from oppressive politics and poverty, and now perhaps from the force of nature itself. For the PBS...
Super interessante essa kita pomesa agora que é buzzword ta global warming e kiko nos trabalhasi pa ko essa aqui meeting anos também ta papia over di essa aqui não somente den Caribbean update pero cada momento kumi ahaya através de programa ng aqui na televisão mita po di 13 essa aqui dilante so we're islands, we're surrounded by water and sometimes 30 centimeters 30 centimeter ta un lineal. So, tas yung gran diferensya para lo que ta trata diferente isa ng ding Caribe. Or kang nang tabirando mas fuerte, ay kita pati ay di mas calor kung mundo a conocer. No siya sinti. No siya sinti para lo que ta trata. Programasyong de The Brand New Day Show. Paso, nos tapafo, nos programa ko nos tapo bagrapa pafo, papo 13 boniteza di dushi Curacao e diferente parte nandi Curacao ko nos 13 pabo, nos ta sintie seta awa seru, even if it's sunshine or rain, but we try to bring it to you, and it's a serious issue. It's a serious issue, and we need to do something about it. Boso Poramira tambe e Minister President di Bahamas tambe na United Nations making a dramatic plea to all of those that can help and do something about global warming, to please do so. Pero nos tambe de nos seno nan chiquito, nos tambe tinko hasi nos best pa nos por save the planet, because it's only one we got. We only got one, and we need to take care of it for the future generations. I know, so much troubles in the world, as Bob Marley would sing. But I got a nice little song for you. We're gonna close Caribbean Update with a nice little song. This one is, it's called Yayo, Yayo. Beautiful song. Listen to the lyrics. It's by Papayo. And he's featuring Pitbull and Kimani Marley. Remember, Kimani Marley is going to be on Curacao the beginning of November for a reggae festival. A lot of great artists are coming down. But in the meantime, between time, enjoy this beautiful song. Listen to the lyrics. It's cool. It's in Spanish, but I know it's a great vibe. Undushi vibe, you know. Sometimes not everything is money. Sometimes it's important to be able to connect and appreciate the finer things in life, the small little details like this. I appreciate these wonderful flowers. The flor ng cultura dia de novo, Isabela Taponeriba nos bonita mesa. And when we come back, we're going to wrap up the brand new day show for today.
And everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. Y ahora tengo libertad. Y ahora vivo un poco más preocupado con la verdad de mi realidad. Ya yo, ya yo, ya yo. Ya yo, ya yo, ya yo. Ya yo, ya yo, ya yo. Ya yo no tengo yo. Ya yo, ya yo, ya yo. Ya yo, ya yo, ya yo. Ya yo, ya yo, ya yo. Ya yo no tengo yo. Cambié mi carro por una bicicleta, no pago mensualidad. Me queda plata para un par de cervezas, ya no me puedo quejar. El Instagram ya lo borré del sistema y para la playa me fui a disfrutar del sol y la arena, porque así vivo feliz.